Hey everybody, I'm coming at you this time with a little Orion Dino Beatdown, and that is because the long anticipated title update 001 for this game has just been recently released to Steam, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to see what's up with it firsthand. Now, if you want to know the backstory behind this game and the patch that was just released, go and check out the article on the blog that's associated with this video, and that'll give you all the gory details about it. But for the sake of this demo here, I just want to focus on the game itself and what's been changed about it to give people an idea of whether or not it's something they might want to check out. So, without further ado, let's jump in. So I'm going to create a private game here for the time being, just so I can talk about a few different things, but then a little later on I'll try to jump into a public game if I can and let you see what it's like to play with other people. I did that earlier with some success, so hopefully it will be equally successful with the cameras rolling. Alright, so one thing you're going to note if you have been playing this game all along is that with this new title update, they've reduced the number of available maps to 2, because they've actually removed the 3 that were originally in the game when it shipped, because they're redoing them to match the new tech that they're using in this new version of the game. So the 3 original maps will be coming back at some point, according to the developer, but for right now you just have these 2 to pick from. So I'm going to give myself some starting credits, leave all this stuff turned on, leave it on medium difficulty because that's the level I've been playing the game at lately with people, and that's kind of where I feel comfortable with it for the most part. So I should be able to comment as I play at least reasonably effectively.
Fresh blood.
So basically, when you jump into this game, you get to pick one of 3 classes, and these will actually dictate 1, what your special ability is, and 2, what main weapons you can use. So you got the assault guy who has a jetpack that lets you fly around. You got the medic who has a medical gun that lets you heal both friendly players and friendly vehicles. And of course you've got your recon with the cloak that lets you disappear periodically from dinosaurs that may be trying to gnaw your face off. So, assault, support, recon, not particularly surprising in a class-based game to see those roles represented, but because jetpacks are super cool and that's how I usually play the game, we're going to go with assault. So you'll spawn in this basically barracks type building. And this is basically where you're always going to spawn in, whether you sort of die in a round and you have to respawn when the next round starts, or you buy your way back into the game if you have enough credits to do that. This is the area that you'll spawn into. And one thing people who have played the game before will notice right away is there used to be ammo and shield replenishment stations on the 2 end caps of this facility, which have been removed. Now ammo and shield repair is done in a completely separate building. Now you still have the class upgrade stations here, which can let you do things like enhance the time your jetpack can remain active and boost your armor and such, but that's really the only thing you do in this building now besides spawning is use these class upgrade stations. So what that means is that when we go outside here and prepare to deal with the dinosaurs when they come, you're going to have to assess your surroundings and figure out where are the buildings that I care about. Where is stuff that I need to be able to get to quickly whenever stuff starts going crazy. Because the basic mechanic of the game is this. You have these different bases that you have to defend, and part of that process is protecting these generators, which you see over here. Now once this generator is turned on, it's going to do 2 very important things. It's going to power the facility, which is going to let you access all the different stations in these different buildings, but it is also going to piss off every dinosaur in the nearby vicinity and make them come and try to eat and destroy it. And so a big part of your job once you start playing is to protect the generator. And unlike previous versions of the game where the generator can, say, be damaged or destroyed and left that in that state indefinitely, now in this new version, if the generator is shut down, you have a limited amount of time to repair it before it just becomes unrepairable and destroyed and you end up losing the game. The other way you can lose the game is if everybody who's playing in the game dies all at once. And that was the case in prior versions of the game as well. I believe this particular mode has actually changed to something called survival as opposed to the old mode, which was conquest. And again, I believe that conquest mode is coming back in a future patch, but I think right now we're just in this survival mode where you basically have to survive 10 waves of these dinosaurs coming and trying to blow up this particular generator. I know in previous versions of the game you had to kind of roam around the map and protect a given generator for X number of waves, and then it would become depleted and you'd have to move on to another base. And like I said, I believe that mode is coming back at some point, but for right now we're in this survival mode. So looking over here, you have the new ammo building, and basically this is just a building dedicated to these ammo stations, which used to be duplicated in the other buildings. And you see, like, now there's some extra structures here, like there's this deal which just is basically a place you could run in and hide from a dinosaur or whatever, but it doesn't seem to serve any functional purpose beyond that. So I guess here we have a hover bike. That's kind of cool, right? You can jump on that. This game has a very Borderlands style of control where you basically move your mouse to indicate the direction you want to travel in, and then just use W and S to go forward and backward. So it's actually a pretty easy driving mechanic. Now the one thing about these hover bikes is they have no offensive weapons to speak of, so it's basically just a conveyance to get around easier. So it's not... I believe you can actually run down the smaller dinosaurs with them, but you have to worry about taking damage, because if the vehicles take too much damage, they explode and will kill you, and that's bad. So I guess the other building I should show real quick before I start this whole thing off is this weapon upgrade building, which I believe is over here. And this building, again, used to have the ammo and shield replenishment stations on the sides here, but now it's just down to weapon upgrades, which you see I can't actually access because the generator's not on. So the good news is I started myself off with some credits, and this building is actually fairly close to the generator. So once I run over here and turn the generator on, I'll be able to jet back over there and grab a fresh weapon to start off this first round. You'll find that when you join a lot of the online games, people have it set up so when you join, you start out with 0 credits, and you have to kill dinosaurs with your pistol to even earn enough credits to upgrade something. It's just my personal preference when I'm playing, especially when I'm playing by myself, to give myself a little money so I can at least like pick up this LMG and you know, have the ability to defend myself a little better because I am by myself here. One thing you'll notice right away if you played the previous version is this LMG used to have a really weak kind of hollow sound. They've really beefed it up quite a bit. And there's also a lot more like bullet spread when you lay down on the trigger. The thing really tweaks quite a bit. Even though you don't really see it on the sight when you're zoomed in with the right mouse button, there's a lot more bullet spread than there used to be with that weapon. And actually with most of the heavy automatic weapons, it seems like bullet spread's a lot greater than it used to be during sustained fire. So that's another difference or something to keep in mind. I'm going to pull up this little overlay thing here so I can get a clearer picture of where these dinosaurs might be coming from, because they should be approaching fairly soon, and they'll be indicated by these Dinosaurs. Off that overlay. Now that they're in my face. So as you can see, these raptors aren't necessarily the sharpest tools in the shed. I mean, they're kind of just going to run at me, and I can kind of strafe away from them. You know, this basically, when you have this initial wave of just the raptors after you, it's kind of just an opportunity for you to earn some credits, so that if you are starting with 0, you'll be able to earn enough to get yourself a better weapon or get yourself an upgrade of some kind. Alright, so the generator is being attacked by that raptor, so I need to kill them to prevent it from being destroyed. And as you can see, the generator is still green, so I don't need to repair it or anything. I managed to get to that before they lunched on it too hard. So now I'll have time. You know, I probably want to go over here to the ammo station and replenish my ammo and get ready for the next wave. One thing about this medium difficulty versus easy is on medium difficulty it costs 5,000 credits to buy back into the game if you're killed mid-round. But because I'm playing by myself, if I'm killed, it's an automatic game over, so I'm not necessarily worried about conserving credits for that purpose. But in a multiplayer game, you know, where you're worried about, you know, if I get killed, do I want to be able to buy back in? You might be more conservative with how you spend your credits. Like here, I'm just going to grab this submachine gun because I can, so that if I run out of ammo on the primary, I'll have another weapon to go to. Because one of the things you have to worry about is if the dinosaurs take out the generator, all of the upgrade and replenishment stations stop working. So if you get into a situation where you're out of ammo and the generator's down, you're going to have to either deal with the pistol, which can be quite time consuming, or you're going to have to fix the generator so that you can go and actually get more ammo. So carrying two like reasonably effective weapons that both have their own ammo supply can be like a pretty helpful thing. Also, you notice there's some reload time on the SMG. So one thing you can do, like the LMG, one thing you do when you actually run out of bullets is just do the quick weapon switch, and then you can just very quickly switch to another weapon, you know, without having to wait for the reload. Now, of course, when I get back to the LMG, I'm still going to have to reload it and go fire it again. But depending on the situation, you know, a weapon switch might make more sense than a reload. Now you'll see we've got these flying creatures in here, and also because the generator's been actively damaged for all this time, I can't just do a quick tap on it to repair it. I'm actually going to have to sit and work on it for a minute, which means I basically need to clear out this area before I run out of time so that I can work on the generator. Now one thing that's nice is, unlike prior versions of the game, if I start working on the generator, it will indicate that. I can't really do that with the raptor in my face, but you'll see it'll indicate the percentage done. And so say I have to walk away from it for a second to shoot a dinosaur or something, and then I come back to it, it'll actually retain that percentage so that it'll you know, keep going from where I left off. So I don't have to worry about necessarily repairing it all at once like I did in prior versions. I can just keep pecking away at it until I get it done, and then you're in good shape. So let me just make sure all my weapons are reloaded while these dinosaurs figure out where I am. Hey, buddy. Like me personally, I like to keep the SMG loaded so that if I need to switch off when the LMG runs dry, then I can just do that quickly. Because sometimes you will get into a situation where there's just so many critters all coming at once that you can get overwhelmed. So it looks like, let's see, how many dinosaurs? Okay, so we've only got one more dinosaur in this wave right now, and you know, if you really want to game the system and take advantage of that, you can. Like, I suspect that there's probably just this one flying dinosaur left that matters as far as this wave is concerned. So I can just hop in here while he's flying around, replenish my ammo, and kind of use the structure of the game mechanic to my advantage. You know, so rather than killing that dinosaur and then being on the clock to have to do the things I want to do, I can kind of take my time. So those guys will pick you up and try to mess with you, which is kind of cool. It's not such a big deal when you have the jetpack to fall back on, but for the classes that don't have the jetpack, getting picked up and dropped by those guys can be kind of a pain. Let me see if I can identify him. Alright, there we go. So now that will start the timer for the next wave, but because I killed him right by the ammo station, I can just run in here, replenish my ammo, and be good to go. So let's see, the credit situation's pretty good. I can probably get a weapon upgrade before this next wave starts if I hurry. Jump in here and do that. So you hear that sound, that's the sound of a T-Rex in play. T-Rex is most likely part of this wave. It's the double clip size upgrade. You can only have one of those weapon upgrades at a time, so if you pick a different one after you already have one, it'll cancel the one that you had. So you kind of want to make sure that you pick the one you actually want at first, otherwise you end up wasting a lot of credits switching back and forth between them. But as I was saying, that T-Rex that I heard is probably part of this next wave, so he will be coming for this generator, so we'll get to see the T-Rex in action. Actually, I believe the T-Rex in this is supposed to be female, because they're supposed to be bigger and more aggressive. I believe they actually gave the T-Rex in this game a name, like Sally or something like that. But you get to see just how terrifying the T-Rex can be, especially when you're additionally surrounded by raptors and other flying creatures and trying to keep the generator safe. It can be very hectic once you get to this point in the game. So obviously I'm trying to deal with these raptors, but I also have to keep aware of the fact that that T-Rex is coming, and I'm going to have to avoid its attacks and otherwise deal with it, in addition to all the little guys trying to jack the generator. Okay, so there's our T-Rex. Now one nice tactic you can use is if you shoot the T-Rex and it gets damaged, it will try to throw, it will try to, sorry, got a little distracted there. It will eat the smaller dinosaurs to replenish its own health, so it's a bit of a cannibal. So doing a lot of damage to it like that initially is actually a pretty good strategy, because then it will actually end up killing some of the other smaller dinosaurs for you, just because it's trying to replenish its own health. I'm gonna try to get in here and take care of this generator before too much time expires, or else I could be in serious trouble. Hey, buddy. I've also got to start watching out because my own health is getting low, and as my shield takes damage, I'm becoming more and more vulnerable to attack here. But I definitely need to get this generator fixed so that I can get my health replenished at a replenishment station. Just gonna try to, and I also have to worry about the timer running out. Again, trying to do this all by yourself can get kind of challenging. So it's really nice, like that feature that lets the generator repair be cumulative. that's a lifesaver in a situation like this, because I can keep, tapping on it, making progress with it, get it fixed, and then be able to get over here and get what I need and leave it unattended for a minute, knowing that they probably won't be able to break it before I can make use of this replenishment station. Alright, so back into the fray, as it were. The T-Rex is actually proving to be a bit less of a threat than it usually is. I think it may have gone off to feed. Okay, there he is. She is. See, she just picked up a rock there and kind of threw it in my general direction, but because I was behind cover there, it didn't really prove to be much of a factor. Now, of course, the nice thing about the jetpack being that I can just kind of take off and avoid the T-Rex. Now she can still pick up those rocks and throw them at me. Ooh, which you have to watch out for, which is what happened just there. So like I probably shouldn't have assumed that I was going to be safe up on this dish, because she had line of sight to throw that rock at me, and that's actually what killed me right there. But as you can see, very challenging even at the medium difficulty level. When you're by yourself. Now I think maybe what I'll do is try to jump into a multiplayer game to give you a better sense of where this game really shines, because the more people you have kind of working on this stuff and kind of dividing the attention of the dinosaurs and making use of the special abilities and whatnot, the more interesting it really is. This is a game that I think really does shine in a multiplayer setting. Because it is so co-op focused and so team oriented. Now there are some interesting things about this game, one of which being that there is friendly fire, so there is the ability to grief and actually like hurt your teammates, which can be a bit of a problem. But as you can see, there aren't very many servers running right now, so my choices are kind of slim. But this one's running the other map, and it's my best ping option, so I'm going to try to jump in there. Unfortunately, that did not work, but we'll try again. And one little bug that's in this current version, it seems like they can't quite get their server browser right. I keep having to hit refresh all the time to get a server list. Like, it doesn't just automatically load it up the way that I think it probably should. But, minor quibble, really, in the grand scheme of things. Let's try to get onto this peak map again. Okay, here we go. I've noticed that sometimes when you try to join the first time and it doesn't work, if you just try again, you'll get in. Alright, so here I am. I'm in a game with other players.
Ultra kill, mega kill.
So yeah, they're rocking it. You notice that I'm starting with 0 credits, so what I'm going to have to do here is get out into the fray and get some dinosaur kills, or at least some assists, to be able to upgrade and get some better weapons. But the first thing I'm going to do is take advantage of the fact that I'm not being watched to try to get some repair points on the generator. Oops, just got knocked on my butt. Okay, dinosaurs. Had it with you. Your shenanigans.
Double kill. Ultra kill. Mega kill.
Looks like we're good now. These guys are still in here trying to cause a ruckus, so we may need to do something about that. Hey, buddy. So you see, like, any kills that I directly participate in, I'm gonna get credit for, whether I actually get the kill or not. Like, as long as you put bullets on target, as soon as that target dies, you'll get some form of reward for it. So you don't necessarily have to be completely on point with your aim. Like, as long as you're making contact, when somebody eventually kills the thing you're shooting at, you're going to get some reward for it. Again, emphasizing the team play aspect, which is definitely what this game is all about. The more you try to work with the people people that are trying to do this stuff, the better off it's going to be for everyone. So there was some more grenades being thrown there. I'm just going to jetpack away so as not to get caught in any collateral damage there. And actually I'm just going to be on the lookout for, there's the replenishment station over there. Definitely going to go hit that up and get my health and shielding back to where they should be before anything bad happens. Alright, so back into that state. So as you can see, I've got 1,100 some credits. I think I'm going to try to hang out for another round with the pistol, because I believe if I get 2,000 credits, I can get the best submachine gun, which would be a good weapon to start with in this situation, and then I can kind of put myself on Raptor duty by the generator and probably rack up some kills and get some more credits fairly quickly. It's just with the pistol, you know, you're only really going to be able to take out a couple of them before you have to reload at best, whereas with the SMG or the LMG, you have a lot more opportunity to rack up some kills before you have to reload. So it's just a bit more efficient once you can get your hands on those automatic weapons. Alright, Raptor's in the house. Let's do this! Got a T-Rex in play here too, so I'm gonna have to watch out for her. I'm gonna try to hang out with my teammate here so that when they have to reload, I can be kind of covering them. This is where you're, if you've played any Serious Sam, the run backwards and shoot mechanic will seem familiar. Alright, so I gotta get back on generator duty here. These Raptors are just nailing it. I'm gonna try to get them off so that I can actually do the repair. I'm gonna toss a grenade over there just as I can. Hopefully some of them will get caught up in it. Oop. So now I'm being flown away by that Rem, which is like a pterodactyl. Generator's still down, so I'm not even going to worry about the replenishment station until I get that fixed. Try to get in here and work on this thing at least a little bit before I get interrupted. Alright.
Monster kill.
My teammates are being a little reckless with their grenades, but fortunately that didn't seem to damage me too much. Okay, seriously Raptors, you need to stop annoying me.
Dinosaur spotted.
Ultra kill.
So I'm going to try to fly back over here and use this jetpack to my advantage. Maybe get in here, get a few ticks on the generator. There we go. So that'll stop that countdown, let us get back into things, maybe regroup a little bit.
Teammate down.
Oh, I just got owned. I should have immediately gone for the replenishment station as soon as I fixed the generator. So I'm going to buy myself back in here. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose the credits that I had accumulated, but at least we won't lose the game if somebody else goes down. Because as long as one player is alive, keep going. So it's really important if you can buy back in to do that, so that there's still some hope of completing the wave. Basically, anybody who's dead at the end of a wave will get a free life when the next wave begins, but you gotta weigh whether or not you want to take the risk that your teammates will be able to finish the wave without you. So like in this case, I felt like it was a better idea to just buy back in and try to contribute. rather than waiting for them to deal with things. Because obviously the T-Rex up, and oh, we should not be on top of each other like that. With the T-Rex up, and so many raptors still in play, we really want to stay in the game, you know, if possible. You can see the T-Rex gets super aggressive with throwing those boulders, so you really have to be watching them all the time so that you can juke at the right moment to avoid them. Because if you are not watching the T-Rex when it's in play, you can very easily just take a boulder to the back like I did in single player and be in real trouble. You know, basically that boulder is a one-shot kill under the best of circumstances. Like I think even if you have a full shield and health and whatnot, like it's still going to just jack you up. So you really have to watch out for it. Oh, and we've had another T-Rex in play. So you notice here I picked up, just by running over it, I picked up a teammate's weapon. And, oh, now I'm out of ammo for it, so I need to switch back to my pistol. But that was, you know, when you noticed me shooting that other gun there, that was just me running over it. Like I obviously didn't buy that gun or anything, I just kind of found it laying on the ground there. More like tripped over it really, because I didn't even really notice it there, to be 100% honest. But one thing you can do is you can drop your weapon that you're actively carrying with the L key, or you can drop any extra credits that you have with the K key and actually try to help your teammates out. You know, so if you've got like an overabundance of credits, you can drop them in a place that your teammate's likely to be at, and they'll just be able to pick them up by touching them, which will give them, you know, more opportunity to buy better equipment and whatnot. Raptors just love this generator, man. They can't get enough of it. And as you can see, like even in this new version, there are still some AI glitches and whatnot. Like that raptor was just kind of sitting there waiting for me to shoot him. Like, this is far from a perfect game, but it's definitely got that kind of fun, hectic, frantic kind of feel to it, which I think really goes a long way to, you know, giving it some charm and some personality and just making you kind of want to enjoy it, like despite whatever technical problems it might have. Like it's just really fun to be on, you know, voice chat, talking to your buddies, like, you know, doing this stuff and having that kind of shared experience. Because, you know, there's so few really good co-op games out there that I feel like, you know, the co-op that this game brings to the table kind of makes up for a lot of its other shortcomings. So I'm gonna try my best here. Oops, sorry teammate, I might have hit you there by accident. Let me try to do a death from above grenade move here. That's usually a good good technique. Just fly straight up with the jetpack and drop a grenade right below you while the dinos are looking at it. Try to get this generator up so that I can actually use a replenishment station, because I could really use a shield and health upgrade or replenishment. Alright, so let me take a moment and get over here and do that. Because the mistake I made last time was not immediately going and fixing myself. Alright, let's see. So I've just barely got... Oh, I actually got 6,400. I'm almost up to the point where I can get that SMG now. Like, if I can just manage not to die in this next wave, at some point I should be able to run over and grab that. Well, I guess if I want to be a little more aggressive about it, I could just go and buy the SMG now while the round break is on, assuming that I'm going to make enough credits with it that if I do die, I'll be able to buy my way back in. So actually, let me look real quickly here, because I only do have 30 seconds to get back into position. But you see, I could actually buy this primary even, but then I have a lot of money to recoup to be able to buy a new life. So I think I'm just going to go with the SMG because it's the top tier SMG for 2K. And then that way I only have to earn, 600 credits before I'm able to buy back in if I need to. And this will give you a chance to see, a different weapon in action as well. Let me just make my way back to the generator, because that's kind of the focal point of a lot of what's going on here. Would have been nice to be able to buy the double clip size, because especially with the SMG, like having the double clip cuts down on the reloads and just makes you way more effective. But hey, buddy. Can't seem to get a clear shot. There we go. Oh man, I'm getting piled on. There. Grenade out. I'll give him 2.
Double, triple. Mega kill.
I think you get like 4 or 5 grenades, which, you gotta be careful with them because there is friendly fire. You can't just go lobbing them around like an imbecile. But you really gotta pay attention to where you're deploying those if you can. I mean, obviously, accidents happen, but you definitely want to try to be thoughtful, about what you're doing. I've seen a little bit of griefing in this game where people will kill each other sometimes just out of spite or because they're bored or whatever. But I think for the most part, people who play this understand that it's really to their advantage to try to help each other out and play cooperatively, which is nice. I have voice chat disabled right now, so I'm not really attempting to communicate with my teammates, but I'm just trying to kind of do stuff that makes sense, like protect the generator, keep it repaired, try to get as many dino kills as I can. Oh, so one pro tip I found out about this particular version of the game: when you get knocked down like that, if you jump, like hit the space bar to jump, you'll pop up instantly, which is something good to know. I guess there's going to be an animation for that later, but they haven't got it in the game yet. So for right now, if you hit space, you can kind of immediately pop up, which is nice. It's really disorienting when that guy picks you up. I really gotta watch myself now because I'm getting low on health and ammo. So I need to go over to this replenishment station while I can, while the generator's still up, and take advantage of that. Yeah, as you can see, sometimes when these guys get inside buildings, they get a little freaked out. But I guess, you'll have that. I'm kind of an iron sights guy in a lot of games, but I find in this game in particular, the action is so frantic that more often than not, I want to just shoot from the hip because you don't really have the time to, really line up a good shot. You really do have to just kind of blaze for the most part. Because if you take the time to line up the shot, you're usually taking too long. And you're going to miss it, or some bad thing is going to happen. Try to jet out of here, distract a little bit if I can. That was good that my teammate pulled her off of me before she really got to lunch on me too bad. Handle this. This game is kind of insane. Like, to a certain extent, like after you talk about it for a few minutes, you've really talked about it and seen all there is to it. I mean, it's about protecting the generator, upgrading your gear, helping your teammates out. You know, it's not rocket science. It's not like a super deep game, but just the action of doing it is kind of fun. You know, and when it's working properly and it's doing all the things it's supposed to be doing from a technical standpoint, it's a pretty good time. You know, and that's what a game should be, I think. And I definitely think this game does, to a large extent, what it's supposed to do. So again, here's another situation where I probably want to go buy a weapon here just because I have a round break to work with. And I think this might actually be the last round. I think these survival modes only go to 10 rounds. So let's see if I can get my trusty LMG equipped and just try not to die. Let's see if I can make this happen here with my teammates. Yeah, I really don't like that sniper rifle, to be perfectly honest. And let's go with the double clip size upgrade. So if I die, that's pretty much going to be it, because I won't have enough to buy back in, but at least I'm well equipped at this point. So it's just going to be a matter of trying to do well. Here real quick, top off. So you can see why I like that double clip size upgrade. It just kind of dumped. Extricate myself from that situation a little bit. One thing that you have to be careful of is not to get too on top of each other. Because, you know, if you get a guy tossing grenades or whatever, it's real easy to get caught up in their madness accidentally. Just kind of let the game speak for itself, to be honest with you, because at this point I'm so concentrated on just trying to get through this wave and not kind of let my teammates down here that I really don't have much more to say.
Double kill.
Sometimes it's easy to forget that you can hit the space bar to stand back up right away. So that was kind of the problem I had there.
Mega kill. Triple kill. Double triple.
Probably should have been reloading while I was in the air there. But that's okay. Now You notice I was able to do a quick tap on the generator there and repair it because it had only been slightly damaged. So that's really the optimal situation, right, is to be able to repair it quick like that without having to sit there and hold the repair key. Conscious of that T-Rex. Start hucking boulders at any moment. We're all right here around this generator. I probably want to spread myself out a little bit. Maybe try to help work on this T-Rex a little bit. Especially with my extended clip, I can really put the bumps on it. How's my status? Looking pretty good. I should probably try to replenish ammo because I've really been capping off on this LMG quite a bit. See, I'm not the only one thinking that way. Alright. Nice. Get to see the end of the T-Rex there. Alright, so, oh, we just have the one dino left. So there's probably just a reb flying around somewhere. There we go. I did alright. I'm not too embarrassed by my performance there. I can live with that. Alright, so that's Orion Dino Beatdown. I think that should give you a pretty good idea of whether or not this is a game that interests you or not, or whether or not you think this update makes it worth giving another look. Oh, I should mention, I was playing in first person that whole time, because that's just the way I prefer to play. It actually defaults to third person now, and you can just switch that by hitting the F1 key. Oh, because I didn't spawn in there, you can't see it. Hold on, let me just exit on out of here so I can show this properly. I notice sometimes the menu items aren't quite as responsive as I'd prefer, but again, kind of a minor thing. But I just wanted to jump in here real quick and let you see. Actually, take the recon class just so you can see both third person, right? And you can still zoom in with the right mouse button. Although it's not an iron sight, it's still like a zoomed in, kind of more dead eye kind of view. And then also this character's ability, which is to become invisible into the fire, which is kind of cool. I personally am a fan of the jetpack though. But different strokes for different folks and whatnot. Oh, and I guess since I'm here, I'll jump in the back of this. You can see there's like animations now for doing some of this stuff, whereas in older versions of the game you just kind of appear. And you can hear like that gun sound is a lot better than it used to be. There's like a lot of little like, you know, minor improvements like that, you know, throughout the new version of the game. But again, if you don't have the context for having seen the previous version, you probably won't even necessarily appreciate or care about any of that stuff. You know, I think at this point it's more important to just kind of assess the game for what it is now, and not worry so much about what it was before, except to say that, you know, theoretically at least, any content that had been in the game that was removed should be coming back in a future update. So I think for now that pretty much does it. So until next time, peace.